Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Knitting and Grieving, Dead Knitters Society. You have reached my little corner of the interwebs where fiber arts and grief intersect. My name is Nira. Welcome. So I believe this is episode 22, and we are going to cover days, I want to say 3 through, what is today, 8 or 9 of Tour de Fleece. At the end of this video, I will add some clips kind of from previous days. I was not home over the weekend. I was visiting family who are staying in Maine. So I brought my drop spindle from Revolution Fiber Arts there. Nothing is promotional. I'm buying all of this with my own money. I guess I probably need to say that anyway. But you can see each day I did a little bit, and I actually feel like I'm ready to take this off of this spindle and put it onto my Lazy Kate so I can practice more plying, which I did ply, you'll see. It's so bad. I almost feel like I actually need to overspin my singles a little bit because then you lose some of the twist when you ply. But I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself, guys. Because I am not very good at allowing myself to be bad at things. I'm going to try to show you my little makeshift Lazy Kate without everything falling down. Okay, only a few things have fallen down. I got this idea from Drusilla Pettibone's class on Craftsy, but basically like you stab holes through your fiber kit box that I had gotten a million years ago, and then I put dowels through, and then I put my bobbins there. Oops, bobbins there, and it made a little Lazy Kate. This is noisy, I'm sorry, y'all. So now I have this Lazy Kate so that I can ply things, sort of. And I'm just playing around with it. I was going to, tonight, now that we're home again, go back to my little e-spinner that I have here, and try again and keep trying. I am going on my very first cruise next week, and I have decided that actually bringing a drop spindle and fiber on my cruise is probably slightly unhinged. My dog is being unhinged. Baxter! Maybe it's not the dog, maybe it's the cats, who knows. Anyway, I feel like I am going to download a book onto my iPad about spinning, and I actually may also bring this one that I had picked up a while ago, and I feel like this could be some good education, which will help me, because I do think I'm going to move forward with spinning as part of my fiber crafting. I do find it, again, it's that magic that knitting holds for me too, where you take like the idea of something and then you create a thing with it, which is so magical. It's like alchemical or something. I feel like a wizard. So, so yeah, I do think I'm going to leave my fiber at home next week while I am cruising. But I'm certainly going to bring some knitting projects. So that'll be fun. While we are kind of talking about the grieving and the what's been going on, today would have been my cousin Reese's 34th birthday. And he unfortunately died just shy of his 30th birthday due to substance abuse disorder. And I do miss him every day, but I think I am so thankful that we have his music because he was a brilliant musician. And I also very much like went back to school to go into social work and counseling because of his struggles. So I think of him often when I'm sitting with clients, and I miss him. And I am thinking of my aunt and my uncle and his 2 sisters today on his birthday, because the birthdays are really hard, and I didn't know before how hard those birthdays are until now. So yeah. And I'm hoping, Mom adored my cousin Reese. Mom adored him. So I'm hoping that they've found each other and that they're playing music and talking about the universe and all of that good stuff. So yeah, there's been a lot of heaviness. Like, I mean, I know that the world's on fire still. But I have, you know, college acquaintances that you see on the Facebooks that, you know, one family has suffered an incredible loss. And it just, when you're a grieving person, it like, I don't know, I feel like my wounds are still so exposed. So I feel very tender for other people as they move into new grief, if that makes sense. Anywho, so let me show you what I finished, because I have a finished object. I'm very excited. So I finished my ankle biter socks. These are custom fit to my measurements, which is really neat. This is a free pattern. I've got my computer in front of me, so let me look and give credit where credit is due. And part of why this pattern was free was because the person who put it together, it's like Excel templates. You know, make a copy and then you plug in your measurements and it gives you the pattern recipe. Let's see, Ladybug Laboratory put out ankle biter socks. And they are inspired by a pair of lacy one size socks by Suzanne Reese. But she took that inspiration, adapted it slightly, and then made some sizing things. I thought it was brilliant, the way that it's like a sock recipe. And I learned some new construction. It doesn't use German short rows or anything. It's twin stitches, which I hadn't used before, and I really like them for short rows. They're short rows in the foot of the sock, like in the sole, and they're very invisible. Like, you really, this is more invisible to me, the short rows that are used. There are also some to create some height back in the ankle. I did 2 more sets of short rows here than the recipe called for. And I did go back and redo this portion of the first sock that I finished. And then, yeah, so twin stitches, new to me technique, and I loved it. And I just think that they're really lovely. They're like sweet little shorty socks. And so now I have another knitted thing that I can wear when it's, you know, hotter than Satan's panties outside in New England. So that is exciting. And then where I'm like discombobulated. Here it is. The stash is like halfway done. I'm halfway cleaned through it. There's Baxter. I am still finishing kind of reorganizing things, and now I need to accommodate fiber. Oy vey. But I will have some video of that eventually too. I did start another pair of socks because all of a sudden I was like, you know what, this is a great summer travel knitting project to have on hand, because they're super portable. They're not laying in your lap. My hands weren't getting super sweaty. These are the beginning of the Larch Ped Toe Up Socks by Laura Nelkin Designs. I have a couple of her craftsy classes from way back when. She's super active on her YouTube channel and a hoot, total hoot, like any other woman of my age, who talks about their HRT. Yes. Like, I feel like I went into perimenopause being like, why aren't more women telling each other what's coming down the pipe? And so she was talking very openly about, what was she wearing today? And she's like, oh, and including my HRT patch. And it just normalizes stuff. You know, you get to know that you're not the only person who has a patch on their hip too. Anyway, so large ped toe ups. I think I'm going to do the optional arch shaping to kind of see what I think. So, and I'm just using up, this wasn't even listed in my stash. I just had it floating there. It is Knit Picks Essential Lumberjack Tweed. It's like a deep forest green with little nubbly tweedy bits in it. I will say that it's not the strongest plied fingering weight yarn, and I'm slightly worried that this may not really hold up in a sock, but we're gonna find out. I'm going through my stash, y'all. I am knitting through that stash because that came out of it, even though it wasn't counted in it, but we're not gonna talk about that. So that is that. What else do I have going on? Oh my Lord, a tragedy happened. Tragedy, that's hyperbole. Where was it? This top, my lounging top, was sitting in a laundry basket, and it got snagged really badly by a bra hook. So I'm going to try to work it back. Like from far away, you can hardly even see the pull. What I may actually do is magic knot it in the back, pull it through, and just call it good. Because, well, no, of course it's on the front. It's on the front of the shirt. Of course it's on the front of the shirt. I think one of my travel on the boat projects may be another one of these. I was just going through the math because my pattern gauge for this top was 24 stitches to 4 inches, and I got 22 after it was blocked because this yarn grew quite a bit. And you know how I feel about swatches, and I know this is very drapey and very loose. I kind of, when I make it again, I'm trying to decide if I'm only going to drop down a needle size and thereby get, I like the drape of the fabric, so I may just make one size smaller and keep the size 4 because I have more of this brand yarn, the same, just a different colorway. So I think I might bring that for the boat as well, because the idea of doing very heavy, the alpaca tencel that I have for my ranunculus that is in progress, I'm not sure I want to be in the Bahamas sweating my balls off trying to knit a fuzzy, halo-y sweater. That doesn't seem like it's a very good idea. Oh, crikey. Hold on just a second, because this is about to be dramatic. Okay, stay. And then, oh, there's going to be crinklies. July Beanie Brigade came in, and I just need to show you. This is, I don't know if you can see the, like, it's almost like an eggplant purple with a lot of tonality to it. It is 80% alpaca, 90% nylon, superwash. In the colorway is Beth Dutton. I like that. I don't know what I'm going to make with this yet, though, because the featured pattern, while lovely, I mean, it's lovely, it's just a very plain ribbed beanie. And I feel like this might want to be something that's different. So I might go searching for something else to do with this. It's so soft. It's so soft. I love it. Anyway, so that is that. I am going to give whatever day it is now of Tour de Fleece its due. And I am going to also make sure that I edit this video so that it posts, because it's also Tuesday. I know it's not Monday, that Monday thing, holidays, travel, vacation. So hard to be on a schedule. I have a hard time being on a schedule anyway. But yeah, so I am not going to record an outro after I put the other things, maybe a little voiceover. We'll see. But I'm going to put some clips of my Tour de Fleece. If you have been on the fence about trying something new, whether it is spinning or knitting or crochet, I cannot say enough for give yourself, even if it's 10 minutes a day, consistently, like 10 minutes every day. Even, I mean, I was like standing in our hotel room waiting for my husband to get out of the shower, and that was my 10 minutes of spinning. That's how we learn new things, is giving ourselves those little moments in time to not be accomplished adults who are good at things yet. So definitely, if there's something that you're scared of trying or you don't know how to do, just ready, fire, aim, go. Just try it. It'll be good. It'll be fun. You'll learn something about yourself. Maybe it'll be something you want to keep doing. Maybe you'll have done it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you'll say, this is really not for me, and I can move on now and find the next new thing. So that is my wish for you today. Again, Mama Reese, I hope you guys are chilling. And wherever your heart may be heavy, go find a moment of stillness and give yourself a little bit of lightness and love. All right. Mwah. I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like the content, like, subscribe, etc., etc. Mwah. Next time. Okay. So I believe today is day 6 of Tour de Fleece, and full disclosure, my phone is very carefully nestled in my sports bra. I'm not going to really talk about that. But I don't really have a stand or anything, so this is how we're making it work. But it is, like I said, day 6 of Tour de Fleece, and I feel like I am starting to get the hang of this a little bit. This is really like a no-name, like a no-name e-spinner. I haven't gotten the hang of it so much that I can actually like talk and draft very well. Actually might want to back off on the speed because it is overspinning just a skosh. See that? That curl back is an overspin. So I just need to like move this up a little bit. There we are. So here we are. Oh, now it's like, okay, so I was getting a lot better at it, but I obviously am not proficient enough where I can handily talk and do this yet, because it's certainly not second nature. Like when I knit, I can blather along, but spinning is still new. But I really feel like I'm starting to kind of get the hang of it. I'm going to try to finish this little sample of fiber that I picked up. I think I'd mentioned in another video, or maybe it was yesterday's, that I got this from Revolution Fibers. And I just got some sample packs of Corriedale because I'd heard that that's a longer stapled wool, so a bit easier for a beginner to learn on. And I have definitely liked it much better than the other fiber that I had. So there we go. This is pretty good. So I'm going to do this bobbin and then finish out what I have on my drop spindle, which as soon as I get this to the end here, and I don't think, I mean, I'm doing like at the very most optimistic, I would call this probably a sport weight, and then I'm going to apply it. And the first 2 days were like super chunky monkey. So here we go. So I got this drop spindle, and you can see that like making progress. It's starting to look a little bit more even. So let's see, you're gonna forgive the crap on my flower. Let's see if I can actually tape this without losing you out of the boobs. All right, so we drop spindle in. We go like this, and I need to. So I've been doing like a park and draft. Although I was standing up the other day and actually doing half decent, like stand up and let it kind of suspend. So I spit. Oop. Sometimes this happens. Oh, you can't really see, but it needs to be. I'm gonna need to wrap it up so that you have a better idea of what we are doing. So anyway, once I have the rest of this fiber, oh crap, this is breaking. The rest of this fiber, I can't do this while I'm talking, and well, that was a fun adventure. So once I have, and I literally just have this much left of that first little like 1 ounce of fiber, I am going to attempt to make a DIY lazy Kate I don't know why Kate was lazy. Maybe she was just efficient and we should be kind to her. But I am going to put what's on my e-spinner bobbin and what's on my drop spindle and wind them into balls, put them into the Lazy Kate, and then I'm going to try to ply this fiber. I haven't decided if I'm going to try to ply it using my drop spindle or using the e-spinner. I have a suspicion that right now I am spinning too thick, particularly my first 2 to 3 days of effort will be too thick to ply through the e-spinner. So I may start off by plying through the drop spindle just because my thickness of those very first days is so wildly uneven. I don't want it to get, gummed up in the e-spinner. So that is my plan for day 6. I will try and grab some photos or video of the Lazy Kate once I've made it. That is not my own idea. That comes from the Craftsy class that I've been talking about with Drusilla Pettibone on drop spindling. So I have the Luette box, so I'm going to give that a try. So I think this here is day 9. I was actually in my hotel waiting, like I said, to go out and meet my family for some dinner, and I thought I would just get a little bit of practice in with my drop spindle, which is lovely and portable. I was kind of chit-chatting with my husband once he popped out, but I kept the sound off for that because I am consenting to myself being on the interwebs and maybe not him. But yeah, you can see that I'm certainly not proficient by any stretch of the imagination, and some of it's really ugly and slubby, but I still feel like I'm making progress, and I look forward to practicing, so I feel like that's really good. And there it is, the past few days of my Tour de Fleece. I'm really pleased with the progress that I'm making, and I really hope that Mom would be proud that I was giving myself permission to be bad at something so that I can get good at it. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you in the next episode.